his new mech suit, Thanos looks like he's ready to throw down the gauntlet for the Avengers. Jarvis here, welcoming you to the latest episode of Avengers Mech Strike Draw. I am connecting you now to artist Brian Crosby, who will show you how to draw Thanos' new mech gauntlet.
Thanks, Jarvis, and welcome everybody. We are so excited to have you today. You see, I got my buddy Thanos over here.
Buddy? With the Mad Titan?
He's not really my buddy, he's kind of a bad guy. Nevertheless, you can see Thanos is inside this giant mech suit. And what we're gonna be drawing today is this, his mech gauntlet. So I am really excited to dive into this drawing. I hope you guys are too. It's one of the most iconic features of any Thanos drawing, especially here with Avengers Mech Strike. So you guys ready to jump in? Jarvis, are you ready?
I was programmed ready, Brian.
All right, so here we go. So the first thing we're gonna draw is a bit of an oval shape. So we're gonna draw his fist closed like that so we can see those stones up at the top. Jarvis, are those Infinity Stones he has on that gauntlet?
Our intelligence reports are inconclusive, but what I do know is that Thanos is no gem.
Well, that sounds ominous enough for me, and I know that the Avengers need to be ready to go when this guy shows up. So I'm glad Tony Stark has invented some mech suits for all of them as well to battle him. Okay, so after we've done our circle there, we're gonna do another shape down below. So this is kind of a almost like an egg shape. See, I'm being very loose with it, just kind of finding forms. All right, so now what we're gonna do is we're going to block this off a little bit. So we drew a nice oval at the top. So we're gonna square it off at the top. See, I'm not going straight across, it's kind of coming down at a slope. So you see your fist, you have one finger up here, and it kind of goes down from there. And then we're gonna connect it down below. Okay, so now for the bottom portion, we're gonna come out and we're gonna shoot straight down, just like that. So we're taking our circles that we drew and now we're kind of squaring them off a little bit. All right, now down the middle of our bottom portion, this is the forearm portion of the gauntlet, we're gonna do a center line right down the middle. All right, and we'll get to that in a second. Let's start with the hand. Okay, so his thumb is tucked underneath. So to do the thumb, we're gonna shoot out and down and come back. So it's kind of tucked in front. Now everybody gets nervous when drawing hands, so we're gonna do this as a fist. It's a little easier. Jarvis, does that work for you?
Yes, though rather than tucking the thumb underneath, I'd give this tutorial 2 thumbs up so far.
Wow. Well, I appreciate that, Jarvis. Thank you. So this is gonna be finger number 1 and finger number 2, finger number 3, and finally finger number 4. Now we're gonna draw those knuckles. So right here on the back of his hand, we're gonna make a square. Just like that. Now we're gonna make a few circles. And this is where those stones are gonna sit. There's gonna be one right here, one here in the middle, one over here, and then one down here. So there's 4. 4 across the knuckles, that is. We also have one that we're gonna draw right in the middle, a little bit bigger, just like that. And there's one thin oval shape over here on the thumb. So that gives us 6. Now the Infinity Stones / Infinity Gems have a long history in Marvel Comics.
They certainly do, Brian. When the 6 stones are united, they grant the user limitless power.
So we'll see how that plays out. Okay, so now we're gonna do a little bit more detail on this upper portion. So before we get into the detail of the form, let's kind of flesh out this hand. So at the top, we're going to angle these off. So they're gonna be a bit more angular. We just drew a box before, so let's separate them each with a line where all the fingers are. So where each of those hills comes down, there's gonna be a line separating each piece. And then we're gonna angle in and down at each one, just like that. Real easy. And we do the same thing at the top. So angle in, angle down, angle up, down, up, down, and up. So you see we took those squares and now we made them a little more angular. So we're going to do the same thing with each of these stones. So what we have here are circles. We're now going to make them a little more rigid. See, I'm kind of refining that. Still being loose with my drawing and finding the forms.
Nice line work, Brian. You have the sketch well in hand.
Now we're going to do the same thing. So the one over here on the side, the oval, we can just come down and shoot straight down and over, just like that. Now, if I'm ever going too fast, go ahead and pause the video, get caught up. That's part of the process, part of the learning. I've drawn this lots of times. And so you're going to get better and better as you guys draw more and more too. We're going to do a little piece. This is where the finger bends over. So there's kind of a hinge point. And then we're going to make these a bit more angular, those hills that we drew. So instead of just being round, we're going to flatten them off at the top. Just like that. Jarvis, how you doing? You keeping up?
I'm a sentient supercomputer. I'm definitely keeping up.
All right. Okay, so now underneath this big stone here, there's a bit of a plate. So we're going to draw across the middle, a line there. And then it comes down on either side. Just like that. And then comes up and out. So you got these little wings on the side. And then these come down just like that. And then these are going to angle in. And then these are going to come down over into our forearm section. They come down and come in here and over. So now there's this plate that stone is sitting on. And then we're going to draw outside of this stone, we're going to draw another plate. So it has the same shape, it's just a little larger. See how I'm doing that? Just echoing that same shape, but going outside of it. So this is the edge of our hand, the edge of our hand here. I'm going to do a little bit of line work on either side of that plate. So there is a hinge point right here that comes up. All you need to do for that is just draw a line. So now it shows that the thumb goes up and curves in. All right? And we're going to do a little bit more detail here on our stones. And the way we're going to do these details is just draw a square or a rectangle inside each one of the stones. This is going to help them make them look three-dimensional. What that means is they kind of pop off the top.
You know what else is popping off? Your artistic skills.
Ah.
I heard Peter Parker use that phrase once.
Peter's a good guy. I like Peter. Okay, so now we've got rectangles and squares in each of our stones. And see how that makes it look like it is coming up. This is really small detail work. So when we do this with our darker pencils, we'll make that really clean. Just helps make those stones look a little bit more authentic. Okay? All right, so with that, we are done with the underdrawing for the hand. So now we're going to move down to the forearm. Jarvis, you ready for the second half?
Yes, sir.
All right. I like the sir. Keep going with that.
I'd like to say I was raised properly, but I suppose it was just my programming.
And I appreciate that. All of these mechs enhance the abilities of each one of their wearers. So if T'Challa's wearing a mech suit, it enhances his own abilities. If Natasha Romanoff, the Black Widow, is wearing her mech suit, it enhances her abilities. So Thanos, already being a pretty powerful dude, look out, he's gonna be a tough one for the Avengers. Okay, so what I'm doing on the either side of this center line is creating this wing. Jarvis, someday I hope you get a mech suit of your own too.
Perhaps someday I will gain physical form, but right now I have no body.
Well, you know Tony Stark better than anybody, so if anyone can make it happen, it's probably you.
Good point. I do know the PIN number to Mr. Stark's credit card.
That's true. And this is going to swoop all the way down past where we drew that original egg shape and box before. And then that's going to connect up with those wings that we drew. And now we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So we come up, swoop down, echo this shape, and swoop down. This thing is so cool. I'm so excited to be drawing this, Jarvis. Okay, so we're getting close. This is already looking pretty powerful and awesome. In fact, there may not be anything as powerful as this mech gauntlet.
Yes, I'd have to agree with your assessment. The power in the gauntlet is unimaginable.
So now we're going to do another shape beyond. We drew that under drawing before, so this is going to come out just to where we drew that box at the beginning. And then we're going to follow our other line that we already made. And then it's going to come down even further, just like that, and get flattened down here. And now we're going to echo this shape one more time. So this is a big piece of mech. We got one more piece to add to the form, so we're going to come out just beyond even what we did there and do another segment that is on the outside of that. So we have our center line that we drew at the very beginning. So we're going to go just on the inside of that center line, and we're going to make a bit of a gap in the middle there. Now, there's some very cool line work that's inside here. So basically the line work echoes the shapes that we already made. So we're going to come down and come all the way across, just like that. There's one. And now we're going to follow that shape all the way down. And then one more, down, all the way across, and up. Sweet. Okay, so now we have a few more pieces of detail to do. So we got one little box that comes up here, just on the outside of that wing. And that gets some line work in here. And then we even have a little bit of detail inside these two wings. And they essentially follow those same shapes. And then inside of that, we just have a sequence of lines, just like this. Jarvis, do you know what all the capabilities are of this mech gauntlet?
Unfortunately, Thanos is not big on sharing operational details, though I have a feeling the Avengers may soon find out what his mech is capable of, the hard way.
That is scary. That is scary. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of an outline. I like to do these outlines because I think it helps the drawings pop off a bit. So I'm not going to outline the whole thing just yet. I'm going to make some of these darker lines. And what I do with these darker pencils is really commit to the lines that I already drew. So this piece that's underneath the hand plate, you can go ahead and color that in if you want. Just a little bit of a shadow underneath. Line work. So I'm just going over the top of what I already drew. Now if you want to use a straight edge or a ruler to help really make these crisp and clean lines, you're totally welcome to do that. We're going to do the stone itself. Remember I talked about making this look three-dimensional? I'm going to show you what I meant by that with some shadow here. Okay, so if the light is coming from up here, that means the shadow would fall on this side. So everything on this side of the stone would be in shadow, just like that. See what I mean? It makes it look three-dimensional. It's a cool trick. All right, now let's go up and tackle these other stones up here. Okay, so thankfully I have my underdrawing, so I don't need to draw everything that I did before, just what I want to keep. And I'm going to put the shadows on these stones as well. Now let's do the detail on those stones. See, I make that square inside, and then go back to the points. Whenever I'm doing a drawing, I like to think that every line means something. So no extra lines. And all of this is to help it make it look 3-dimensional. Let's go ahead and do some shadows. So the shadows on these are going to be exactly as they were on the big one. Because this mech gauntlet is made of metal, it doesn't bend the way your normal fingers would. Almost like hinges on a door. If you look at a door in your house,
accessing reference image.
You can see those hinges. That's how something big and heavy and rigid like that would bend. Jarvis, I just want to know what all these little energy pieces mean. I want to know what it all does.
Be careful what you wish for, Brian. Thanos guards his secrets ferociously.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point. Okay, I won't ask too many questions. Okay, so now we're going to mirror what we did on the right side with the left and a sequence of lines inside. And with that, we have Thanos' mech gauntlet. You guys did it. We did it together. Jarvis, how did your drawing turn out?
I'd rather not share mine.
That's okay. Keep practicing, buddy. The more you work at it, the better you get. And that's a good lesson for you guys, too. Just keep drawing and keep practicing. But you know, we're not quite done. Whenever you finish a drawing, you've got to put your name on it. That's what makes it yours. So I'm going to put my name down here, Brian Crosby. And I had so much fun drawing with you guys today. But you know what, Jarvis? Let's throw some ink and paint on this. What do you say?
I say ink and color is a go. Colorization complete. With such a snappy-looking gauntlet, I wonder why this Titan is so mad.
That's true. That's true. I do wonder why he's so upset all the time.
This concludes this episode of Avengers Mech Strike Draw, where we show you how to draw Earth's mightiest mechs.